listed in the so-called physician's manual. And I say so-called because it ain't real, folks. It's wrong. You heard the word ain't. I use it for emphasis.
They did, not to cut you off, they did a study recently. There's no diagnosis of ADD.
There is
nothing in Switzerland.
There is no diagnosis.
Of any of that.
If they were to test us, we would be labeled, okay?
Yeah.
Why? Because we have more energy than they are willing to deal with, or because we are tired from a consistent 6 hours of sleep only, which is sleep deprivation, which is a re-stimulation of anything that's on our gene line dealing back all the way to the enslaved men. That when they talk to you with this sort of a tone in their voice, you will have a re-stimulation. And so our police forces are trained to speak in a voice that provokes fear and intimidation. Hello? So now, what do we do about it? Put our hats on, put our gloves on, push in that 8 hours of sleep in as much of it as you can get, because the more rested you are, the better you are. Yeah, we're snacking on muffins and donuts and such. That's fine every now and then, but don't make it your everyday meal, because sugar is going to kill you. The salt's going to come right behind that, so you're getting nutrition. It's not just for the children. We have a long road to go. We actually do. So let's get about it. Are you ready now?
Yes.
You ready now? All right. This comes from the National Institute of Health. Why did psychiatry begin diagnosing diseases? 1948, the combined specialty of neuropsychiatry was divided into two: neurology, dealing with organic or physical diseases of the brain, and psychiatry, dealing with emotional and behavioral problems in normal human beings. Nor was there any dispute as to the division of labor. Psychiatrists made no claim that they diagnosed or treated actual brain diseases. Finding no organic disease in patients with non-specific, let me give you that again, non-specific symptoms, diagnosed or treated with actual brain disease. With non-specific symptoms, non-psychiatric physicians refer patients to psychiatrists. In other words, finding no objective abnormalities or disease, it can safely be concluded that the patient's symptoms are psychological in origin, psychogenic. This is the main precondition for referral of a patient to a psychiatrist or any health mental institution. This is 2019. When I first studied this, study technology, and it's a technology because technology means science as it is applied to practical use. We got tired of rubbing clothes on rocks and came up with a washing machine. We got tired of having to do all this handwriting, came up with typewriters. Some of you might not remember that back in my day. Got tired of that one, went to computers. Okay? Now we're into cell phones that record not only definitions of words, but every number we don't feel like we want to remember. And guess what? That's what's taking us into Alzheimer's and dementia really fast. Because if you don't use it, you're going to lose it.
Yep.
Everything.
Anything sink in with anybody?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So this is why I do this. I try to share whatever the Creator gives to me that has helped me with my 10. I did not know in 1973, 75, they had taken phonics out of the school system. They were not teaching kids how to read by the sounding of the letters.
Sight words.
Sight words that they never even define. Just really quick, how many hello, thank you. How many of you right off the top of your head know what the word a means?
One. Single.
Thank you. The, it, and, but, that, then, of. These words have 2 and 3 meanings or more. We don't know them, we think it's no big deal. But guess what? Every word you do not know, the meaning, at least in the context is being used, is like a blinder over your eye. Put one hand over one eye. How does it feel to have to walk around looking and understanding the world like that?
Incomplete.
Really?
Incomplete.
All right, so let's move on. That's all I'm going to share with you about that. Anyone interested, I can get you copies of that information. Okay?
Please, thank you.
Homeschooling versus public school. Mainly the reasons that I went to homeschooling was when I realized that there were in 1988 was when I had to go out of home to work because my husband became involved in substance abuse. My husband, father of my 10 children, was incarcerated for 2 years, so I single parented my 10.
Jesus.
And you went to work?
I had to.
And you homeschooled?
At that time, I did not homeschool. I trusted DC public school.
I know that's right.
Mistake.
Okay?
That's right.
But thank the God that I caught it in time. All right? I worked in the evening after getting them back home through their homework, meals prepared, older ones on task and posted for the evening, and I did not have cell phone then. Okay? In other words, they couldn't call me if something was going on. But now the same young lady who was 12, 13 then is a council member in Ward 7 today.
Yes.
The same young man that stuttered because they did not have fungus, he could not read, that affects one's ability to feel comfortable in the world, owns his own business and helps other people, etc.
Yes.
So it can be done. It has to be done by us mothers. The part that we can do. And we don't have to do it all, thank God. Because if we're asking, he will deliver.
Didn't they just tell me that?
He will deliver. So let's get going.
All right.
I want to deal today a little bit with communication as well. And by communication, who can tell me what I mean by communication? Most people think it's just talking. Good. Would you give me that a little louder, please?
Getting your point or idea across to another individual.
Yes, that's half of it. Thank you. Anybody know the other half?
Listening.
Yeah? Duplication. Comprehending for the purpose of duplicating. You ever tell your child to go do something and they do something else? Okay. Then they didn't duplicate what you said. Would you say that? You ever say good morning to somebody and they said, I'm fine? You ever do that? They got a nice big cup of coffee in their hand, maybe, or tea or whatever, and you say good morning, they say, I'm fine. Did they really listen to you? Did you really make sure your words got to their face so they could duplicate it? No. So really quick here, I forget how many in here. I think I counted 22 a little bit earlier. But if you could turn to the person that's closest to you and partner up, we're going to do this in just 15 minutes. I want to run you through 3 parts of communication. Okay? This is interactive, my sisters.
And there's a brother here now.
This is interactive, my sisters. Communication Okay, understanding, communication is supposed to give us what? What's it supposed to give us?
Understand?
Understanding. Understanding has 3 parts. Anybody want to give me one part?
Understand.
That's true.
Somebody said it, comprehending.
Comprehension.
Yeah.
Okay, understanding needs affinity.
Oh.
Anybody know what that is? Affinity. Look at the person closest to you, please. I do that. Person closest. Just pick one.
You know what opinion means.
Miss Ryder needs a partner up here. Somebody turn. Okay.
Do
Turn one.
together.
What do you feel from that person? Do you feel a natural comfort with the person or discomfort with the person?
Comfort.
Comfort. Okay. Do you
You
feel?
ain't with nobody. How you want You feel comfortable with yourself.
All right.
A natural, yeah.
Affinity is a natural feeling of liking.
I'm vibing off y'all.
You're willing. Hello, I still got talking.
Okay,
I
comfort.
still got talking.
Comfort.
Miss Tate has the floor, guys.
Willing to be in the same space. Okay? That's affinity.
Oh, okay. Willing to be in the
You're
same.
you're comfortable enough that you
Don't believe-
feel like being in that same space. Okay? Now, to have that affinity, you gotta have some reality.
Okay.
And by reality, I mean agreement. Let's go there. Hello?
Agreement.
Agreement. Do we agree that this is our parent space? How about that?
We agree.
We agree on that?
Yes.
Who said no? Who said no?
Okay, of course.
Okay, I got you. So share with us very quickly.
Oh my goodness, I changed my answer.
How easy we can agree, right? Or real simple. I call this a cup. Anybody else call it something else?
It's,
Anybody else?
A juice courier. A juice holder.
oh,
A drink holder.
Okay, got it. All right.
Drink holders.
Okay, there you go. Okay, if I don't see your eyes, then I know I don't have you. You're somewhere else. We're not communicating if I don't see your eyes. If I don't see your eye contact, we are not communicating. My sounds are going past your ears, but there's no way you're going to duplicate what I'm trying to transmit to you. And our affinity will go down. I'm not going to be willing to stay here and continue.
I know that's right.
Okay? And if what I say you don't agree with, you'll get up and leave. You get what I'm saying?
Don't let the
So
door
that
hit you.
affinity will go down, won't it?
yeah.
But if you do agree that this is something to drink out of, whether
Yes.
you call it a cup, a glass, or whatever other language might call it, then we have some what?
Agreement.
Okay? It's real to me that what you said about this is so. So I stay and I'll hang out in the space with you. I got affinity. To maintain that, we got to do what then? We have
Agree.
to do this. We have to communicate.
Okay.
So when you walk into a space and somebody treats you like they don't have affinity for you, what do you know might be going on?
Disagreement.
There is something that's not real to them about you. There's something they disagree.
They ain't the right vibe.
They might disagree with the color of the body you wear.
Oh, well.
They might disagree with the gender you happen to be in. They might disagree with your nationality, color of your hair, whether you smile or you frown. There is something there, but if you know that, you can repair it with what?
Communication.
Being myself.
You know, excuse me, sir. Anything that bothers you about me? Thank you. Simple communication. Excuse me, my sister. You okay today?
Yeah, I'm
Cause
good.
see, when
How
I
are
see
you?
a frown go across the face, I want to know what's up. Okay?
up?
Because I don't want to cause that frown. You understand? But by the same token, if something else that causes that frown, I can assist you with, then I'm supposed to assist. I'm supposed to act. I'm supposed to what?
Communicate.
You're supposed to say, you alright? What's up?
Exactly.
What you looking like that?
Yeah, I'm gonna ask you. Why you? What I do? Did I say something?
Why your vibe off?
Okay. So now, are you ready for a little bit of game? These games are only yes, ma'am.
Communicate on that.
Huh.
Ma'am.
So it's pretty much like being in a relationship.
Very much so.
I mean, everything is connected.
Relationships have to have what?
Understanding.
And to have understanding, you need three components. What are they?
Affinity, reality, and communication.
Okay? If you don't have this, and it's off, well, you got something. So what you look for is what you got. If you still have this,
You got fakeness.
then you can get these back. If you still have this, you can get these back. You see that? Okay? So really quick, partner up is what I asked you to do. You got your partner?
Yeah.
Okay, the first part of this little drill.
Communicate with you, we have an uneven group here, is that okay?
I was trying
I
to,
think
get
so.
on.
Anybody
You,
else?
you welcome. Your vibe good. Your vibe good.
You got one here.
Your energy good. Come on.
Here's what I'm gonna ask you to do.
Yeah, but initially I was talking with them.
She
No, you wasn't. Wait.
Friday, you cheated.
Wait, wait.
She was.
That's how she got kicked out.
But we was like, we thought she was talking to herself. She was like, I was with you, man.
How long?
Outside.
5. Thank you. I need you to put everything down out your hands because you're gonna face your partner and for 3 minutes only. I'm gonna take out my watch.
Oh, don't be no corner by
I'll wait.
yourself.
One,
Look at each other.
no, 2, 3, 4. Thank you. You're gonna put everything down out of your hands. You're going to face the partner with your eyes closed. I'm going to time it. That's all you're gonna do. You're gonna feel the space.
Okay, everybody's eyes should be closed and mouth shut.
I'm gonna count to 3. Close your eyes. 1, 2, 3. You're in drill 1. It's called training routine 0. Eyes closed. Some of you won't be able to close your eyes because you cannot trust the space. Some of you will not be able to be comfortable with your eyes closed because you're used to seeing every single thing and you haven't realized yet that you see when your eyes are closed. But check it out, I could be wrong. This is where you get your body very still because part of listening is to be still. A lot of us have trouble with that because as mothers, we're constantly almost running. But feel the difference. Feel the difference with the partner you have. And if you're really good at this, you're already beginning to sense that partner that you are drilling with. Now, if you don't get through this one and we only have a minute, you'll have a hard time on the next one. We're down to 10 seconds. Some of you are really good at this. But really get what you feel. By now, hopefully you're hearing sounds you didn't notice earlier. You may even be feeling temperature in the space you didn't feel earlier. Get the rhythm of your heart. Get the rhythm of your breathing. Now, before I ask you to open your eyes, I'm gonna ask you to pull in your air, pull in your breath slowly. Really fill up that chest and belly, pull in that air. And control it going out. Let it out slowly. Cleansing breath. Thank you. Open your eyes, please. Very good. Very well done. Now, when we can get, I'll wait. Thank you. If we can do that, then can't we have our child do that occasionally to calm their spirit? For them to really tune in? If you can imagine what Harriet Tubman was up against to take people to freedom. You know, you couldn't be yak, you know, in that road, you know.
No, not at all.
You had to be quiet. Or you were not going to make it, and nor was anybody else.
She'll shoot you.
Well, before she was shoot. Okay? But get the idea, there are some skills we've always had, but we have not yet.
Ain't taking one of mine.
We have not yet put them back to use. All right? Now, the next part may be a little more difficult. This time, you're going to face your partner with your eyes open.
So, Miss, so you're saying use that tool as a way to calm our children down?
Yes, ma'am. I'll go into that in just a moment, but first, we have to see what the skill is. You cannot, give me a minute. Oh, wait, yes, share it with me.
Oh, I was talking to my peer, and I was going back into what you were saying about sacrifice, and she was shocked that my oldest is 21 and I'm 40, and I said, and my middle son is 18. Reason why they're still alive is because I've made a lot of sacrifices.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm committed to my sons.
Thank you.
Right.
All
So
right.
that's what I was sharing.
Can we give her an air five? Yes, ma'am. That's what we're talking about. I had to find decent men in the community to connect my sons to when their father was absent. Because I couldn't teach them how to be a man. You understand?
No, I had
And so I did. Now, we ready for that next part?
Yes.
There are times our young people need to be quiet and be still and have that skill. Now, these drills I teach in workshops, and you don't really pass the drill unless you can do each piece of this for at least an hour. To be a trainer, I had to be in that position for 2 hours, flat. Gee, I mean, they shorten movies now. We pay more money, but movies are only an hour and a half. Because folks can't be still much longer.
I be sleep.
That's why
Okay.
songs so
I
short.
sleep in the music.
Yes. Okay, here we go. I'm going to put the timer on. Face your partner. This is eyes open. Now, here's what I need you to do. See what I mean? Now, listen up very carefully. One person in the partnership, raise your hand. Very quickly, I'm going to give you an instruction. Thank you. When your partner giggles or laughs, say gently, listen up, because you're going to flip the roles. Just say gently, flunk, start again.
Flunk, start again.
Okay? You get that? Until they
You don't wanna
can
flunk
hold
me.
that position. Let's start again. Let's start again. We're only going 3 minutes. Let's start again. Only.
3 minutes is a long time.
3 minutes.
I'm supposed to keep saying that 3 minutes? You want me to keep saying that? Because she's still laughing.
She's still laughing. You tell her flunk, start again. Now, listen up.
Start again.
Hello, listen up. This is only 3 minutes, then you switch. She will be the one telling you. If you can't stop laughing for 3 minutes by looking at, do you get the idea? Somebody walks, wait a minute, yeah, somebody walks past you. You know what I'm saying? You're going to want to know what's your problem. Get the idea?
Yeah.
Somebody walks past
know
you
you
with
ain't.
brown. You want to know what your brown is?
I know you right.
Because it's gonna, I'll wait. It's gonna cause a reaction. That's what we're dealing with here.
Oh,
We have reactions all day long. We're not even aware. Are you ready? Setting the timer. Here we
So we
go.
don't say nothing. We just look at each other.
Ready?
That is.
Oh, wait, hold on. Let me make a
Let me
quick
get all
correction.
my giggles
As
out.
Muslims, we don't stare in a man's eyes, so if I'm looking this way, don't mean I'm ignoring you.
I'm sorry.
Okay, that's not my, so,
Okay, and I understand that.
so I'm not ignoring you, I'm just looking.
Okay. So, instead of that way or that way, pick a point that does face that person. Because,
Or switch
What-
partners.
yeah, that's her
That's
partner.
fine.
Okay? Because when you cannot look a person direct in the eye, you cannot read their soul.
You can read people.
You cannot actually read pretty much what they think.
Can you read?
Yes, ma'am.
What you see?
I'm not going to tell you.
Why?
Because that's your business.
Eyes are the keys to the soul.
Yes,
I can't
ma'am.
do it.
That's why as Muslim men and women, you
Not
make people
supposed
fall in love. because
by
you look-
stunt
yeah,
gazing
yeah,
in his
yeah,
eyes.
Exactly.
that's why they tell you.
But when you know that the, I'll
I'ma
wait,
see it.
1,
I can see
2, and 3. Are we ready?
Okay.
Hello, my sisters. Let's go.
Now?
Hold on. Okay, ready?
No, she ain't.
Flunk. Start again.
Oh,
Yeah, they are trying, yeah, you flunk mean that you didn't pass, okay? You want, let me say this, let me give you this. Hello? Your partner's win is your win. They don't win if you don't win. If they can't pull together within themselves to do this, you don't win either.
Get some
Is
heart.
that? All right, I
Talk
can
to
see
you.
everybody facing their partner.
I don't want to.
Here we go. Start. We don't have to shush anybody. This is a thing of doing yourself. That's the example that you give to anybody else.
We got to read each other. All right, ready.
Your phone, Miss Ryder?
You want to get back into it.
Don't hide your mouth. Just look at your partner. Keep it straight in. And you're not trying to make her laugh yet. The third part comes to that.
Start again. Start again. Start again.
Remember, you're trying to help each other win. You're trying to help each other pull this skill off. That no matter what's going on in a classroom of 20-some kids, you can keep your focus on what you're doing with this skill. Nobody can pull you off. Nobody, because you have decided that it cannot. See, this is a decision first, or it cannot be done. Very well done, sister. Calm it down a little bit more. You got it. Thank you. "30 seconds to go. Let's do it. You can do this. You're looking at that person because you're going to find out something about that person. Because you're taking time with that person. This is not a talking piece. You almost got it. All right, that's it. Thank you. Switch partners. That was excellent.
No, I heard some chitter chat over there.
Yes, yes. Okay.
That
1,
was
2, 3.
hard.
Let's switch.
Cause I can't. That was hard because I can't look in people's eyes.
Yeah, that's kind of.
When I talk, I can't. I always look away.
Good.
That was real
I'll
hard.
tell you about that when we're done. If you cannot meet another's gaze, it's something that you are not sure of about
Exactly,
yourself.
it's insecurity.
This is a way to control your environment,
Yes.
right? As a student
Okay.
in the classroom, when everybody's acting crazy and you're just trying to keep your composure, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Get the idea. If you can do this, you can teach it and practice it with your students, your children, your peers.
I'm gonna try this one.
If I'm on a public bus and something is going on that bus, somebody's on the bus and something's happening with them, they need help, I'm gonna either be part of the help or I'm gonna be part of the hurt. If I'm gonna get excited and panic and yak, yak, yak like everybody else on the bus, I'm not helping. Somebody's got to be a stable terminal. Yes, ma'am.
The first exercise, when we were sitting here with our
I
eyes
see a lot
closed
of
and going, somebody's gotta
responsibility.
be a stable terminal. She was looking at me and I was looking at her, but I actually felt safe knowing that she was the one behind. And I was hoping that the person that I was looking at actually felt as safe. Because if we're on that bus, I feel safe leaving my child, you know what I mean?
Yes, ma'am.
So, yeah, you gotta trust
Yes,
that
ma'am.
person.
And in a day when there are people that you have to trust with your children, if they cannot look you in the eye, they are not worth your trust. Because they are insecure within themselves for some reason. Get the idea?
So I should go stare at the kid. It's like,
No. Let me, okay, and that's a good
I had to
point.
break your side. Your face was too solid for me.
You
I'm
got
sorry.
it.
I'm too friendly.
I got it.
You get the picture, and I was like, I'm gonna make her smile because she gave me the military job.
Thank you. Thank you for that, because, did you hear what she said? Would you share that again, please?
Her face was so
Stern.
stern, and I had to make. I am a goofball, so I had to make her laugh because she was just giving me the military face.
Okay.
That's that Nation of Islam teaching.
Nation of Islam, yes ma'am. Straight up,
Got it straight.
straight up.
Got it
I
straight.
take no bull off of anybody. Do not think that my
She's
size
7
or
years
my
old,
age or my color is a weapon for you to use against me.
Right.
It is not.
But I made you smile.
And the tone, thank you, you did.
There was so
And the
many
tone,
good teachers that taught women how to be women. I just,
yes.
like where we
Stern.
sit, we would be chastised where we sit because women are supposed to sit.
With their legs
I
up.
could never sit with my legs. Well, that's
Yeah.
how I was
But
taught.
let me
That's why I
say
said
this, thank you for that. It started there, but because it was very one-sided, God was especially merciful to me because he gave me the other side. This communication drill is the other side. So people that are not used to looking you eye to eye will say, why you staring at me?
Yeah, because they.
Okay, because exactly, okay? But at the same time, I'll put on the face that I want to be. Yes, ma'am. You got maybe more skills than you know you got
No,
yet.
I know I do.
All right, all right, here we go. Now, we need to switch up the partners because the other person gets to say to you, well, start again. Are you ready? Okay, here we go. The partner,
Same down, so I can't laugh.
You ain't gonna laugh. I already knew you weren't gonna laugh.
It was hard.
You serious?
I'm nowhere near serious.
Okay.
Biggest clown you ever
reset, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and start. Your focus where it is 12:01, they're switching classes. is where you practice distractions all around you, but do you let it distract you? You don't have to. You have a choice. And notice now how you can have your attention in more than one place simultaneously. Check that out. Isn't that a great skill to have? And you're only into 1 minute. Y'all are good at this.
Hey.
Yes, sir. Can I help you?
Oh no, one of my friends just.
It's all right.
Go
We
ahead and show
understand.
He just
Thank
shows
you.
off like all the time.
Gotcha. A few seconds more. Look at how fast you're getting this done. I bet some of you have found out something about yourself you might want to share. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Thank you.
That time was doper than the last one.
We did it.
That time was doper.
We did it. Would you do my eyes going like this? Yours too. I was like, she looked like she reading a book. It was
I felt like
like,
I was blinking a whole lot.
no, it's your eyes scrolling. It's like up, then it come down, then it come back up, like you reading.
Your mind never sleeps.
I know, even when I'm like,
Found out something really
She was
great
thinking
about
about
yourself you want to
You
share.
don't understand. As a parent nowadays,
But I
in
can fall asleep staring at one
2019,
thing for
we're thinking about 50
just 3
things in that 1 second.
Ah,
You thinking about the future.
something.
You thinking about 20 years from now.
I'm thinking about
Hold
how
on.
the word
One.
brought them out the
she
kitchen,
just
all
said you
that.
think about the
3,
future.
hold on. You have something, we'd like you to share it.
Maybe
One,
one.
just share it over here, quickly.
That I can fall asleep staring at something for 3 minutes. I got
Okay.
very tired.
me.
Tells you your body's level. Yes, ma'am.
I didn't stop my partner this time, because even though she kind of was distracted, she was getting back on point. So it was more important for me to allow her that time than to say, come on, start again.
Got you.
Oh,
Thank you.
that was good. Good
Yes,
move.
because
Look out.
you kept the example in for her to follow. So can you imagine the more people around you that have the same skill you have, it helps you keep yours in. So what does the scriptures always say? Be the example of what you want. Yes, ma'am. Over here I saw some.
Oh, I just wanted to say, I'm a little hard-headed, so we was doing the opposite of what you said. But we learned that in doing, of not wanting to do the task, we ended up doing the task. So we locked eyes even when we didn't want to lock eyes. Like we were trying to bet, I bet you can't stay. We was doing the opposite. I'm sorry. We're a little bit, God working on us, okay?
But you did it though.
But we did, yeah. We just did that. We just revamped it so it worked like the Southeast way. It worked like the Southeast way. The Southeast way. That's all it was. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But I told you like truth. It was honest. It was honest.
Thank you. Anybody
She
else?
said I'm kind of hard-headed.
Hold on. One.
What does it mean when you're sitting there thinking, okay, I gotta go get in the night, I gotta go.
We said that too. That was them. We watched them do that.
My phone bill's overdue. I'm sitting thinking about all that. My child got to come home and know whether
Your phone bill.
baby.
I'm thinking about the rent.
Okay.
I'm thinking about all those.
Yes.
Those
So, let me
So
address that.
can I
Oh,
tell
hold
you about
on.
my partner?
Hold on.
Okay.
Let me address this one. 1, 2, 3. Let me address that. If your thoughts are somewhere else on everything else, you are not in present time with that being that you're facing. Okay? Yes.
That one, what I think that's what the lady said.
Yes.
With her, what the person you was with, when you was saying that, that's what I think. That's what we were talking about with by this being 2019, we have multiple. I don't know if everybody does, but I have multiple kids. It's hard, it's like hard for me to think about one thing.
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking about 50 things because I'm
Yeah.
utilizing that time. I'm thinking about
Yeah.
okay, how I'm about to go to work, what I'm about to cook for dinner.
That's
Da, da,
what
da,
I
da,
just
da, da, da.
did. Yeah.
So I think that's what probably would when you said that she was off, like I think that's probably what she went at. You see what I'm saying? That she got right back.
Listening over there?
Because
Listening?
that,
Okay.
I do that.
So,
Yeah.
yes.
I'm always thinking.
Yes.
Yeah, it's hard for
That's
me
what
to
she
be in one.
said.
Yes. Let me,
That's a
hold,
practice.
One of the things to address what you're saying
Are we tuned in over here?
But when
Hello?
you do that, you have to make a conscious effort to set aside time for yourself so that you can slow down and come out of that go, think about everything all the time.
No, I didn't. I know how to do that.
Oh,
I was
okay.
just saying. I was talking about where I was thinking with the person that what you said.
When she
I said
wandered off, maybe
when
that's
she
what
wandered off.
Yeah.
When she wandered off,
And
I
maybe that's
think
what she was doing.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
what she was doing. She was
Yeah.
just thinking about okay, what am I gonna do? And then when she got right back, cause
Yeah.
I'm saying I recognize that cause I do it, but I do make time because. I'm a goofball. I'm gonna make my time. You know what I'm saying? I just can't make up the time for
All right,
school
so we
and
keep
the
it-
bills. You know,
Thank
so I
you. We
figured
keep
it out.
it going. Yes, ma'am. We got one more piece on that.
So
Then we're gonna wrap up.
So with my partner, I noticed that her eyes, it's like she's reading. Like she goes like that,
She reading you.
and then she come back up, and she.
Are you reading her?
And so I asked her, was mine doing it? Was my eyes doing that too?
A little bit, but not like.
Yeah, I was trying
I
to.
could feel my eyes going back and forth. Yours was like real still. Something.
Yeah, because I was trying to read what she was reading, and I was like, what's she thinking? But they were strolling, and that was very interesting.
From my corner over here, what do you have to share with us?
None, don't they talk too much?
Miss Ryder say, what's up?
Oh, wait a minute. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. That's her opinion.
Wait a minute, that was a reality.
And it's okay. Just know that it's her truth.
That's your
And let me say
reality.
this about integrity. Let me share with you about integrity. Your integrity is what is true for you, and that you stand on it. It may not be true for anybody else, but if it has been shown to you and it's true for you, and you don't stand on it, your integrity is
It's questionable.
out.
Yep,
It's not even questionable. It is out.
it's on.
And that is what has happened to us as a people. We have not yet faced what in the world were we doing or not doing on the continent that lent us to the condition of being enslaved. Who were we not quiet enough to hear? Who did we not look at well enough to really pay attention to the characteristics that we were looking at? Because we have been giving, according to the scripture, the eyesight, the hearing, and the brain, and we have been made responsible, able to respond, to use them. Since we did not, here we are. Time out for pointing fingers, because how many point back at you?
That yappy yap pays sometimes.
If we are, as we have been pulling up, the original species on this planet, then who's been following who?
Who's on me?
That
Who?
the question.
Hello.
Shout
And the tide is changing swiftly. Just as it did when they sent the so-called Emancipation Proclamation and we were free, but we didn't know
What the heck
you know
was
what
free
to do
mean?
with it. Hello.
Exactly.
We were not prepared.
Nope.
And here we are again. A large portion of the element that has enslaved us are decreasing in their power
Yep.
to the ratio of our awareness and taking responsibility.
Yep.
Yes, we had a brother in the highest seat of this nation, and about the most he could do was remind us,
Half brother. He was half brother.
was to remind us
I still love him though.
that while he's in the seat, there's some things we need to be doing. Because he knew his hands were literally tied in that seat. It's only a seat.
Yeah.
He could sit there. That was about it.
I don't know why
But
we
the
vote
fact
people
that
in.
God manifests for him to sit the seat was a message to us. Did we get it? If we got it, there should be some changes with us at this point.
Oh,
And guess
did it?
who's raising the next generation?
We are.
Thank you. You're sitting in this room.
Right now.
As our brother Barry said, and that's why they had to take him down with all of his faults that he had, because he showed us. He was the field brother from the Mississippi, from the field. And he came up here to the
And they
house,
couldn't even
the
take him
master's
down.
house. And he said to us, Negroes in the master's house, y'all better wake up. Because them crumbs you eating off the table not going to help you.
Are you coming to the museum?
Yes, ma'am.
I gotta walk with you. I gotta walk with you.
My children,
What museum?
African history.
Oh, you mean the one over there?
What you mean? You mean the one over there? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
So, mamas, mothers,
The one over there.
you cannot teach what you do not know. You cannot say to them, do what you yourself do not do. That's the law of the Spirit. I am talking to women in here, in this room. As Barry would say, sitting in this room are the most powerful people, some of you, in this world. You might be raising the next president.
Chill.
Oh, I hear
You may be raising. You are raising. We are raising. My children are raising. And they ask me, Mama, you teaching everybody else's children. Come home, we pay you to teach ours.
I know that is right.
And when I read the information in 1988, that over 6 million children in this nation are prescribed psychotropic drugs, I said, oh my God.
I fought for that too.
And as I shared just a little bit with you,
poison.
they have no diagnosis for ADHD,
I fought against that queen.
ODD.
Yes, they try to get my son.
Now,
I
does
said,
that say that
you
some
take the
children
medicine.
don't have
Yeah.
some
That's
sort of a
poison for our
problem?
kids.
They may, but most of it has to do with nutritional deficiencies, sleep deprivation, and who can handle those two? Who's the professor in the household to handle that? Hello, pat yourself on the back,
Hey.
because you are doing that.
Yeah.
That's who it's up to. It's up to us, mamas. I'm here today to share with you because my grandchildren are your children's peers. They are looking for someone who thinks like them.
Exactly.
They got to know that there's some straight people on the planet.
Yeah.
There's some solid people on the planet.
Go back
They
what
got
you
to
first
know
said.
that. They're looking for, your children are looking for peers who have the same value system they have.
Yeah.
See, we're going past the time that we're going to call it Islam, Judaism, Christianity, all these
that.
things.
Yes.
We're beyond that. It's what does that produce? What is your philosophy? What does your truth? What kind of person, being, does that make you in relationship to
Don't
others?
just talk about it, be about it.
Amen.
Say
Okay.
that.
Am I a safe person for you to be around? You understand? That's what you gotta figure out.
Now, that look you gave me, I don't know. I don't know. I might have to see with a little eye open.
I got you. So now, let's do really fast. It's 12:16. Do I have any comment, anything on that? You're safe with me. Whatever you got to say, I can have it.
Safe to say or to do, because I don't trust you with actions. The safe with my words, yes. But I don't trust you. You look like you kind of fast.
Karate chop.
Yeah.
I did study martial arts.
See? We was on it. We was on it, Queen. We was on it. Please, somebody, like, I'm safe. I'm safe in this corner.
Well, if you have a Gemini, Leo, Cancer,
Oh yeah, that's a lot to deal with.
Capricorn,
Woo!
and those are just my sons.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Then you have a Taurus, Taurian.
Oh, that was the best. That was the best right there.
You're a Taurus.
Taurus thing, that was the best.
You still
All we do is love.
Oh wait, what I recognize finally is that on the other side, spirit, it always looks like a piece of cake
We be
till you get here.
Yeah, we be
And what I hold as my truth for me
Yeah.
is that they chose on the other side to come through here. So I'm supposed to share whatever I got coming the way I came. You see,
Yeah.
I was on the planet less than 2 years. In fact, my mother didn't take me home from the hospital. Her sister, who wears the name Mobile that I would not wear until I found out why, convinced her to abort me.
Oh, wow.
I had to make a decision inside with that which creates, to be or not to be.
Wow.
So I'm being.
I know that's right.
At age 2,
That's why
right
she
after
a
my
warrior.
birthday, my mother packed my clothes in a shopping bag and she left me with a couple who had taken care of me off and on. The man, or the couple that adopted me, were both born 1919, which is a prime divine number. The father still lives today at 100 years old.
Wow.
Amen.
And of all the things he's forgotten, the one thing he remembers is she's my daughter,
Oh.
Yeah, she talked about that last time.
okay?
That's so sweet.
But that means something to me. It says
Yes,
something to me.
yes.
Yeah.
You see, the number 1 is written and has the same value every place on the planet.
Amen.
The same with the number 9. So it is known in some camps as a divine prime number.
Just like that.
The
3.
human body has 206 or 209 bones divisible by 19. Halley's Comet comes every 76 years, divisible by 19, etc. That information is in one scripture left on the planet. It's called the Final Testament, known as Quran. Anybody that chooses can read and study.
Yeah.
You will find it refer you back also to the other scriptures. So in other words, that which creates has never left us without a written knowledge that we can refer to.
Yeah.
Yes. Amen.
Okay? But to understand it, you have to handle those barriers to study. You gotta know what your words mean.
Yeah.
You have to know more than one meaning of a word. You understand? You have to be able to get a picture in your mind of what those words are saying to you. That's the math.
And I
Right?
said, Trinity God.
You have to be able to get that.
Nah, I ain't figured that out yet.
And if you are confused about
No, 8
something,
is new beginning, so I haven't got to 9 yet.
What's 9? What's the number 9?
the
What's
number
significance?
9
'Cause
is
that's my
written
birthday.
the same in every place on the planet. It has the same value. The 1 and the 9 then is the Alpha and the Omega.
But what's 9? What's the meaning of 9 by
I
itself?
do not know that.
Oh, okay.
By itself.
That's why, but that's, she just explained
I
that's the
under-
reason
yeah.
why number 9 is
Is
hard,
important.
because it's equivalent
To
and
the
it's seen
one.
to the 1, yeah.
Yes.
And it's still an alpha.
So God is
it's still an
one,
alpha
no
or
matter the ideology. God
Right, it's
is
one.
one.
Yeah.
Good, orderly
But see,
direction
that's why I say it's
is
the Trinity.
one.
See,
For
3
three.
times 3
Encompasses
equals
all.
9, so that's why
Oh,
it's
it's
still,
double. Okay.
Okay?
Okay. Because I saw this number years
Thank you.
ago.
Someone pull up a
2
definition of
9s and 2
9.
3s.
considered a complete, perfected and divine number because it represents the end of a cycle.
Oh, thank you,
for my
little scholar.
confirmation, Queen. Thank you.
We are
Thank
ending
you.
here.
Thank
Hello.
you.
We're in the ending of
The slavery.
19.
400 years of slavery
And you
ended
said
this
the
year,
19. You said
2019.
the year, the number
So what we
19.
gonna do with it?
Ha! Thank you, Queen. I needed that
But
today.
do you know that's
This
the
was
end
the
of
best part of the class.
What we
Yeah,
gonna do with
thank
that?
you. Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you. I received that. Thank you. Thank you. I received that wisdom.
Thank you.
You felt
Oh
it.
yeah, you felt that.
Yes, ma'am.
We free. We free.
That which creates
Yes.
acknowledges you. when you're on task.
Pass. Amen. That's why I said confirmation. You heard me say confirmation?
And just like I'm here today,
That's right.
there are others of you that are here. And some of you hiding. You got skills and you have information for us.
Mhm.
God has given us this arena for a reason.
Yeah. you
Nothing
already
is
planted that seed.
happenstance.
Yeah. Yes,
Everything is divinely coincided, not coincident.
ma'am.
It was put together, it was written before we hit the planet. It was shown and we agreed. Gotta be some reason I came like I came. That was no fun, you understand?
Yeah.
And some of you have knowledge in this room that we're waiting for.
Bring it on, yo.
So just as I can stand here, so can you. My task is to simply set the example and set the stage.
Sage. Amen.
Okay? And as the brother said, we need a larger space.
Yes.
Because we got work to do.
Yeah.
If they're going to set up Learning Coach University, who should be there? Who should be there?
Us.
Thank you. By God's leave, in every one of the parent or, what do you call it, teaching cycles that were done when my kids were in school, I wound up being a representative for parents. I didn't ask for the job. The task was given to me, and I accepted it.
Gratefully.
Okay? 1995, my family represented African American culture on the mall for Family Day. My brother sat in, my adopted brother sat in for my husband because he was incarcerated. So we were a complete family. So you, sitting in this room, are very powerful people. And I want to do the very last little piece now. You ready?
Yes.
Everybody has some button. Think about a button that you have, something that irritates you, and if somebody says it or does it, you ready to jump on them. I mean, forget this composure stuff.
Oh,
right?
you talking
You
about
got
a trigger button?
A
Yeah.
trigger button.
Oh, okay.
Think about what it is.
Oh, I know.
Okay? All right?
It's
So
negative
this
energy.
piece, when you have a trigger button,
That's my trigger
and
button.
somebody says something to trigger it, this is what they're doing. They are bull baiting you.
Bull baiting.
Okay? Now, in the children's level of business drills, communication, we tell the partners to have something, do something to make your partner laugh. And your partner's task is not to laugh. The same as if somebody is in your classroom bull baiting the class because they didn't bring their homework and they don't want the teacher to know that.
That was
So they
big.
gonna do stuff in the class, so everybody in class, you understand that? But now you mamas, you done taught your child to handle bullbait. And it's nothing, somebody can swing on the chandelier and it won't pull them off their stuff. Get the idea? So if you still have a partner, very quickly, and this is only gonna run for 1
I was
minute.
thinking the same.
1 minute, are you ready?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Have a cool.
Face your partner and let me give you
What is it? Bull baited by the cooler. How you say it?
bull baiting.
Bull baiting.
Bull baiting.
Yeah, I got bull baited by the cooler.
Okay, are we ready? This has got to go kind of fast.
Yeah.
You got your partner? Okay. Partner A, 1B A and 1B B. Who's going to be A? Okay. Where's A? You A?
Yeah, she A, I'm B.
Yeah. You A. Okay, A's, put your hand up because I'm going to give you your bull bait. A of the partnership, put your hand up. Who is A in the partnership? One's A, one's B. A, you're B.
His partner done left
Okay.
him.
You two still in the game? Okay, got it. You got a partner here? All right. Here's what you're going to do. Are you listening?
Yeah.
You're going to think of something really yucky you can say to that person.
Oh my
And
God.
your partner is not going to react.
She said,
And you're gonna keep saying it, and if they do react, then you gently say, no, and you're gonna start it again. Okay?
yeah, I'll
This
take
one, you
one.
get the skill that no matter what somebody says to you,
You got the drop on.
yeah, you have the choice to say something really harsh or to say something really funny.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, because I can't say harsh.
Are you ready?
I don't like harsh. I can't talk harsh.
Okay, here we go.
We can do harsh or funny.
Yes. I'm waiting to see if you're ready. One,
I'm built like a fool. Please don't make me. I don't want us to
okay,
fail.
others can't hear me. Here we go. Ready? And start.
So last night I'm doing my homework, and my oldest son comes to the room, and he's like, Mom, the tuxedo on Netflix, and I was down to watch it. I've loved that movie since it came out on DVD.
Make that person laugh, make that person react, that person cry.
I'm reacting.
Oh,
How old is he? You know they've been here before. He ate in the years, but in the spur. What is that?
like I've loved that movie ever since it's been on DVD.
Shafla. You can't talk about them old souls rocking them little teeny bodies.
Stop. Thank you. Okay. How you go? She did not react? Good.
She reacted.
She did. Okay.
I failed.
So be it. How about this partnership here?
No,
Did she?
No.
She did not
No,
react.
she just kept. Well, the facial expression is a reaction, right?
Yeah?
I mean, she looked at me kind of weird, but she didn't,
Okay, but she didn't say
react.
anything.
Yeah,
Okay,
no,
good. All right, so now, switch partners. Switch partners.
Okay.
Alright.
You mean switch roles?
Yeah, switch roles.
Okay.
Switch roles.
Okay.
I can't start you till you stop. Hello, ladies.
I got you.
Okay? Ready? Oh, come back here. Reset. You ready over here? You're gonna switch. You're gonna try to get her to react. She's not gonna react. Okay? She's not gonna laugh if it's something funny. She's not gonna get upset if it's something harsh.
No, I'm
All right?
gonna be serious.
Over here?
But I ain't gonna say
Okay, I
nothing.
think it's just you three here. Ready? And let's do it.
So they keep saying that our children have to take this process, and they really.
Are you doing the drill, ladies?
Yeah.
It's not a law for parents to take these.
Yeah,
To
she
make our
chose
children take these tests.
right to offend me. She got to offend me.
Quickly offend her because the seconds are ticking.
I never read it myself.
What were you saying?
Uh-huh.
Fighting them.
Trying to pull off a laugh or offense, and that person is not reacting. 30 seconds. 30 seconds. 30 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 1. That's it. Thank you.
She reacted. I pushed her button.
Okay, you got it.
You wasn't just reacting.
I responded.
That's a reaction.
That's what I did. I responded.
And your leg was shaking. Her. Oh.
I ain't want to miss none of the parts. I'm with you. There it is. You ain't want to miss none of the parts.
You know, you can't put yourself on the
I got up here.
I need your attention,
Oh,
please.
sorry.
I'm gonna wrap.
You making me feel again.
Hello.
Can I get a picture of that before you erase it?
Wrap up. My ladies in the back that were tracking, we're gonna wrap up. Can I get your attention back here, please? Thank you. Yes, ma'am. You want to do that?
I wrote it down.
Okay, got it. One, I'm waiting because I'm gonna wrap it up. First, let me thank you. Thank you for being here today. I'm still waiting over here for your attention.
Look, she ain't even looking at him. And she.
I see them. They're in my peripheral view. Just as much as they're in my forward view. Okay? But those are the skills we have. We have 52 perceptions, my sisters. Not 5. Hello? We have 52. I'm still waiting over here to my left for your attention. Thank you. Waiting now right here for your attention.
She's still offending me. Okay, all right.
Got you, but you have the power to let it go by you.
I know. I got
I
it.
got you, thank you. I am thankful today for being here to share this with you. I'm thankful because it says there is hope for mine as well as for yours. Do you get that?
Yes.
Do you feel that? Close your
Yes.
eyes and really pull that in for me. Okay, thank you. So as I end off today with communication, and this is why I went here first, because without affinity, reality, and communication, we have nothing but the absence or the opposite of that. We have misplaced feelings that we cannot explain, but we feel them and we act upon them. Is that real to anybody other than me?
Yeah.
So I only gave you today what I do in 3-hour workshops for people. I would like to share it with you because as I have the skill, and it is therefore a source of income for me, it can be so for anybody who has that skill. Anybody. I had 10 kids, so I had to work from home first because they were my first work. My daughter, if you've ever read the book Little X, wrote that. Thank you, Mom, she said, for making us your work, because they were my first work. And if you're doing that work, that's the greatest work you can do. The GOD will give you what you need as you ask and you move toward whatever actions he gives you to do that. It will be there, trust me. Okay? The last time I was with you, I discussed with you that there are only 3 barriers to learning. Someone in here knows what they are. Who can call them off?
Dang, what is it? Oh, I got it. I took notes.
Yes, ma'am.
You know everything.
That's the first obstacle to learning, thank you, is that I already know that. Oh, what she talking about, or what he talking about, I already know that. Oh, I already heard that. Oh, I knew about that long time ago.
My son like that.
A lot of us are like that. We already know, so we don't do what? We don't look, nor listen. Because life changes every day. You and I, the mothers, we know learning is a lifelong activity. And when I say learning, I'm not talking about what we've been taught in the Anglo schools of this nation. I'm not talking about gathering information and spit it out on a testing device. I'm speaking of finding out new things so you can do things better. That is the definition of learning that I operate and I teach on. I'm not gathering information just to be gathering information. What am I going to do with it? How does it apply to my life? And in order to know that, our children, we are the ones to ask them. The teachers will not ask them that. What is your purpose for reading? What is your purpose for science? What is your purpose? What are you going to do with mathematics? I truly didn't know that algebra were letters, that it was an Arabic mathematics application. And that the letters simply filled in for numbers that weren't known,
That's
but
why
could
it's
be
a lot-
known.
It's a lot more complicated.
And it can be
It can
because
be.
they complicate it.
Right.
Right.
They don't teach you the
But if we
basics.
know how to break the barriers
basics
down,
now,
then
yeah.
we know how to simplify it.
Yeah.
I got
Because we are the highest creative species on the planet.
Say that
We
again.
are more intelligent than the trees.
Say it again.
We are the highest species on the planet.
And
However,
blacks were
because
here
of choice,
first.
we tend to make wrong choices and mess it up.
Blacks,
So
yeah,
the first
exactly.
obstacle is
Lack of
thinking you
mass.
already know. The next barrier is lack of mass. If somebody is trying to teach about chairs, they need to show you some chairs or pictures of chairs. So if it's in French and they're talking about Le Chase and you don't know that's a chair, ask them for a picture. Okay?
Gradient.
If your mind does not have a picture of it, it will have certain phenomena. And when I say phenomena, I mean the first definition in the dictionary, which is any occurrence that can be explained scientifically. Rain coming from the sky is a phenomenon. I used to didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
It is not that extraordinary,
True.
which is the only definition we tend to know. It's only two. Okay? The phenomena of not having a picture in your mind, you will hear somebody say, I'm bored. All the way till they get angry. And why is that important? Because the minute they stay in a classroom bored and or angry, they will be written up by that teacher as a label is needed. A psychiatrist will walk in on the family and judge the family for what you probably are not doing that particular day and prescribe something that will chemically imbalance your child for the rest of their life.
Poison.
Yep. Bought that too.
Poison.
So mamas know the symptoms. Eyes hurt is not necessarily needing glasses. They need the picture, they need the mask for something they're hearing and have heard or seen. And their mind can't pull a picture for it. They studying and they're looking like this, mama, they're squashed, they're bent. Find out what is it that they are reading or looking at or hearing or have heard. Second variant, please. Gradient.
I'm just going over those again.
Thank you. Please, if you have stairs in your home, just real quick, try walking up 2 at a time, 3 at a time. Each one takes more effort. 1 at a time is easier. If your student, your child says, I'm confused, or you, there are times you may take on a new task and it's confusing to you. And you might think, I can't do this. Hold up. Back up the gradient. Go back to that task where you did understand. Take your student, your child, back to where they understood in the math book or the science book. And in that area, you will find something they thought they understood, but they didn't, and it's tripping them up. It is not the step they're on. It's the 1 or 2 before. Back up the gradient. If they have missed a day or 2 of reading, and where the classroom teacher is 2 or 3 pages, they skip those pages. That's a skip gradient. They're going to be confused. Make sure they go back and get that and pull them up. That's 2. Third and most important one is the one that the psychs use to finish labeling and put you on drugs. Yes, ma'am.
Missed or not correctly understood words.
Yes, ma'am. Washed out feeling. Oh, I don't feel like it today. Oh, I'm so tired. I can't do this. Okay, darling, you've been reading. Did you capture any words this week? Let's take a look. Because on the online 5th grade, and on the online 4th grade, and on the online 3rd grade that my granddaughter was on, I found that I could not leave her to read it on her own. She read very well, but there were words in the reading that were unfamiliar to her. And the minute that she didn't want to do that anymore, I recognized it. Oh, got you. Let's back it up, darling, and find the words that you didn't have correct meanings for. Clean it up, and they brighten up, and they're willing again to take on the task. There is pretty much nothing on this planet that we have not been created to handle. We just need to know what the barriers are and how to handle the barriers. The remedy for that, and in fact, they'll get so that, think for yourself, what was the subject you studied in school that you tried to make yourself sick every day because you didn't want to go do it? Really quick. Go.
Geometry.
Geometry.
Yeah.
Okay. Mine was French and algebra.
You like
I love that.
Seventh grade. Okay. Because I couldn't understand it. Once I understood it, oh, why didn't somebody tell
it's
me
at
back
home.
then?
I don't never
Get the
have
idea?
phone. That's why I told you.
But there will
I
be
prefer
symptoms,
email.
Mama.
I be losing.
There will be symptoms, okay? Too steep a gradient is confusion, and they may even have or you may have a feeling of swaying and reeling, a little bit of dizziness. See, this is not just for study. This is for everyday life. Because every day requires us to read something and understand, yes? Okay? And do something with it. So if you or your children are feeling like, I just can't do that, I don't want no parts of it, what's going on? What's the barrier? Misunderstood word.
Exactly. I asked this question to Ms. Ryder, but it's on the same topic. Do you have, I know you're a teacher, but is there like a, okay.
They say that's a good thing.
Oh, okay, but you know that that's what it says, right? Okay. So, do we have like a support group, like where it's not being, we're being, in a structured environment, not saying like in a club or a church, or I'm just saying that it's not quote unquote where you gotta stop talking, or like a support atmosphere, not a cut off where when everyone is listening to someone or everyone is sharing an idea, but it's not a controlled environment, or it's not being structured whereas though you gotta stop talking at this time, you gotta stop talking, oh you gotta, that's not on that topic, so you understand?
Yes, yes.
Do we have that?
We don't have a support group per se, but.
So if we wanted that, would we have to go to you?
We can form it, yeah.
We could form it?
I don't know if anybody has known, but for 12 years, I ran a co-op. I ran a co-op for 12 years over in the Southeast. One of the most successful co-ops in the city.
What's the name of it?
It was Mashallah Islam Group Homeschool. And all those kids aged out the program.
Hold on, so you know, never mind, I'll talk
I was
with you
gonna
later.
show it on, we have on our, on the WordPress, the whole, what we used to do.